We've got
Yay!
6 people here, Chef. I think
Hi!
everybody wants to know how saucy you really are.
Well, I am very saucy.
And she's not totally sauced yet, but maybe she will be by the end of the interview. Where's the bottle? So welcome to TryDallasLive. I'm being a little loud here, I think. But welcome to TryDallasLive. We're sitting here with Chef Bajsel, who is actually going to be on Beat Bobby Flay tomorrow. Yay! We can't talk to her about it today, right? She can't give us any scoop on that.
No, just that it airs tomorrow on the Food Network at 9 p.m.
At 9 p.m. But we get to spend some time getting to know Saucy Chef and why she gets, I think I already figured out why she's called Saucy Chef. It's more than her sauces, I think. But what we really want, though, is we want you guys to interact. So we've got a lot of people on, actually. And so you guys type in your questions for Chef Jenifer so that she can answer them for you. And whatever it is that you want to ask her, go for it. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to turn it over to Steven here so that we can make sure we get everything and it's nice and loud. So, so tell us, though, the saucy name. I'm making fun of you on it. I'm laughing with you with the name of it. But... you know, where did it come from?
It originally started with the sauce that I make, which is my signature dish. It's a spaghetti sauce. My mom used to make it when I was a child, and when she passed away when I was young, I kind of was trying to figure out how she made it because she didn't really teach me how to cook. So I was trying to put together things that I knew she put in the sauce, and I'd work on it, and it kind of developed and morphed, and it became my most requested dish. No matter what, if I had friends over, they'd say, "Are you making your sauce?" So that was part of it. Then in culinary school, I noticed that no matter what sauce I made, with whatever cuisine we were cooking, my professors would take quart and pint containers and take it home. So I thought, I must be good at sauces.
Yeah.
And then, you know, because I have red hair, I am very outgoing. I'm from New York originally, so I'm very direct and feisty. I was like, well, that's kind of saucy. And then I love to cook with wine. Sometimes I cook with beer and spirits, but mostly wine. And then, you know, I do drink the sauce. So it just kind of all came together, and it just made sense that getting saucy should be what my motto is.
I think you should have a Food Network show called Getting Saucy.
I completely agree.
Right? Well, maybe they'll be watching. Yeah, and they'll put us both on. Yeah, I'll taste all your food. So what's the secret to good sauce, though? Because I cook. Yeah, my daughter loves to cook. My food tastes great, but doesn't look as great. But I just can't figure out sauces. So what's the secret to a good sauce without giving us your secret recipes?
You know what? Here's the thing. I'm not one of those chefs that hides anything. I'm here to teach and help you grow as a home cook, and teach you the art of making sauces, which I think is something that's lost. It started with the French cuisine, and that's really your basis. There's 5 mother sauces, and all have different things that you use to develop them. But once you understand the basis of each sauce, then you can kind of play and tweak it. So for example, for Thanksgiving, I already did an early Thanksgiving with some friends, and as I was thickening the gravy, I tasted it, everything was wonderful, and I thought, I'm gonna add a pat of butter at the very end. And it just gave it that glossy finish and that richness. Well, that's something you learn as you create French sauces. I don't put sugar in my spaghetti sauce. I take a little bit of vinegar and put that in it if it's bitter. That removes the bitterness without having to add sugar. When I make vinaigrettes, I go opposite of the French. French say 2 parts oil to 1 part vinegar or citrus. I do it the opposite. It's more healthy, it's more bright and vibrant, because really the only thing you need the oil is to get it to stick to your lettuce. So yeah, you know, these are all tricks that you learn, but I think the basis and the foundation of good sauces is really learning those 5 mother sauces in French technique.
And what goes with what?
Exactly. But that's the other thing too. Once you kind of understand that, you can play. Like I like to put, I make a chimichurri pesto that I've told should be bottled. So if there's any distributors out there, yeah, let me know. But it's not your traditional chimichurri. Is very oil based. It's almost like a salad dressing. I actually do it like a pesto, so it's a paste. So I can put it on crostinis. I can put it, you know, underneath shrimp or steak or chicken. It works with everything.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's really good.
That sounds good. So what are you doing besides, you know, going on Bobby Flay? So what are you doing right now?
Well, I have, my company is a private chef catering company, so I go into people's homes and we do cooking classes. That's a lot of fun because I always do recipe books for the guests, and I get the guests actually involved in making the dinner.
Oh, nice.
So that's a lot of fun. I do baby showers and anniversaries and just small private events. I do some bigger ones. I have done parties as large as 500. But, you know, as a startup, I don't have the beautiful $300 chafing dishes, so I stay away from bigger weddings. I stay away from large plated dinners just because I don't have the manpower and I don't want to take away the quality of the food and the quality of the service just for the bigger, you know, the bigger buck.
Right. So you're more of the, you're the boutique.
I am. I like to keep things intimate. Most of my clients would tell you we're friends now. You know, I get hugs and invited to birthday parties and things after the fact, so 4th of July parties, and most of my clients have become friends.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So where do you see yourself going with this? So 10 years from now, and I see you 10 years from now, what do you want to be doing?
10 years from now, I'm hoping to have my own show on the Food Network. Actually, I hope it happens before that. I think that because there are no shows out there that teach people how to create sauces, like I said, it's a lost art. That is a whole untapped market. Plus, I can kind of cross over different cuisines. So I don't necessarily have to be the Italian chef or the French chef or the German chef. I can kind of cross over and say, well, today we're making, you know, beef stroganoff, so I'm going to teach you how to make a luxurious sour cream sauce with mushrooms. So the sauce will be the highlight of the show, but that's really what I want to do. Plus, I'm hoping, I am philanthropic as much as I can be. I work with the North Texas Food Bank. I do a Thanksgiving dinner for people, acquaintances and friends that don't have anywhere to go for Thanksgiving. But I'm really hoping that if a show takes off, that I really can use that as a means to be an advocate for the American people. We need change in our food policies. We need change with people who produce our food products in this country. So yeah, that's where the other saucy part of me, can get a little passionate, a little feisty about that.
No, but that's good though. So does it go without saying then that you pretty much cook organic and great?
I do as much as I can. For myself, absolutely. But again, when you're dealing with small budgets and your clients' needs, and I always offer it, I encourage it, but again, it comes down to what the client wants and what the client can afford. So
is there a taste? So let's talk a little bit about organic, because I think that that's probably a good topic that our viewers might want to know. And if you guys have any questions about organics, because I know this gets big debate all the time, but so from an organic standpoint, are there some fruits or veggies more than others that you're like, absolutely you have to go organic?
You know, I understand the difference in pricing because I grocery shop all the time, obviously, for food shopping for my business. And the good thing that I'm finding is that organic things, so don't be afraid to buy organic, price match. You can get organic for close to normal prices, especially in your fruits and vegetables.
Really? Where? How?
I found bananas at Sprouts. Organic were the exact same price as regular. So you know I bought organic that day. Yeah. A lot of times I'll find grass-fed, grass-finished beef. It's $1 per pound more, but if you're only needing a pound for a recipe, to me it's worth it to spend the extra $1.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to see that the prices are starting to come down in organic, and I think that's because demand is higher. You know, people don't want GMOs, people don't want pesticides, people don't want cancer-causing agents in their food. Mm-hmm. So we're demanding, and I'm starting to see more of that, which I'm thankful for, getting back to those smaller farms that are diversified and using crops that are not covered with pesticides and not feeding cows and chickens and pork nasty hormone-induced, you know, grain and things like that. So.
Well, and there's a taste difference too, right?
Absolutely.
So I try to go organic as well at home. Now, what do you think restaurants are going to do as far as organic? I mean, do you ever see restaurants going to where they're going to go more in that direction? Mainstream restaurants, not all those healthy restaurants. But.
Well, it's interesting because a lot of your smaller restaurants, and we have some great restaurants here in Dallas, they, you know, farm-to-table movement started about 5 years ago, and then it's kind of went to foraging. And there are some restaurants, I know of one in Austin, I know of one here in Dallas, where they basically look and see what's available for the day, and then they create their menu for that day based on those seasonal and fresh ingredients that they can get. A lot of restaurants are putting gardens behind their restaurant. Thomas Keller kind of started that movement, so that you are getting those organic things and they're fresh and they're seasonal, and we're trying to kind of change the mindset. So that movement started a long time ago. I think as we start to see organic prices come down, you'll start to see restaurants, the bigger ones, the chains, making better choices and trying to bring in. Every chef would rather use a better quality ingredient. We would rather not have to buy a bag of frozen chicken. We'd rather get it fresh and know that it's free range if we can do it. Yeah. So I think that as we see pricing going down, because that really has a lot to do with it, food costs, you run on such a small margin, that'll change over time.
Well, and I'm wondering, you know, at TryDallas, our whole purpose, right, for our magazine is that we really want to bring attention to the city of Dallas and all the greatness that we have. And so, you know, we were talking earlier about how we don't get enough credit in Dallas for the amazing chefs and the food quality and what we have, right? And so I'm wondering, you know, one of my thoughts on Dallas becoming or being more of a world-class city is that we're so centrally located, right? Yes. Cheap fares in and out of here. And we've got everything that everybody else has. And so I would think that because we're central, we have better access to organic than a place like New York would have or Los Angeles would have.
If New York would utilize and appreciate the actual part of New York State, which is the whole state of New York, upstate, they actually do. I mean, that's all farmland. I grew up there. That's all farmland. Unfortunately, though, the way that taxing and politics work, those people struggle in upstate New York to really produce, you know, and stay independent. They have to kind of lean on those food companies that come in, and then, of course, they say, well, you have to feed your animals, and we won't get into all that detail, but I actually sat down and researched. There's a lot of websites, there's a lot of information out there if you Google it about cattle's huge. There's a lot of places that are certified animal welfare, certified grass-fed, grass-finished, certified non-GMO. They're out there and they'll deliver or ship to you here in North Texas, and they're all in Texas.
Yeah.
And you know, we've got the farmers market in Dallas, and a lot of your smaller cities like Capel, and even in Murphy, Texas, we've got farmers markets. So the people are out there.
Yeah.
We just have to make a choice to go visit them and support them, and in turn they support us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're right. I mean, the more the consumer asks the businesses to do it, the more it's going to happen, right?
I agree. Yes.
Absolutely. So it sounds like you like education and you like talking about stuff like this. And,
I do.
And you like talking in front of people. So tell us about your past life, though, before you became a chef.
So I'm a Pisces, honorary Irish because my birthday's St. Patrick's Day. That might also make me a little saucy.
Yeah.
But I've kind of done a lot of different things in my life. But basically, no matter what I was doing, whether it was retail management or property management or teaching dance classes, I've always been a leader. I've always been in management. I've always done business, business math and financial. So it was interesting. I owned a talent agency, and when we had the recession in 2008, it went bust. First business, we all make mistakes and learn from them, hopefully. So I was really trying to figure out what to do with myself, and I was like, I got back into property management, stable, good business. My actors, though, in the agency all said, oh my God, Jennifer, you should be on camera. And I was like, doing what? They were like, you're funny. No, I'm funny after I have one of these. Or at least so I thought. So I got some comedy workbooks and thought, you know, let me practice writing. And every time I'd pull one out, I'd pull out a cookbook and I'd just sit there and read it. And at this point, I had been, you know, a home cook. I'd been doing my Thanksgiving for my friends, my open house for 10 years at that point. I love nothing more than to have people over and cook for them. So I thought, I'm going to go to culinary school. And I actually, at that point, never thought it would be a career. I just did it because I wanted to. And it was actually the first thing I ever did in my entire life that no one told me I should do. It was a huge epiphany. And then I was in, you know, my second semester when John Tezar hired me. So I was like, right path, doors opening, best choice I've ever made my entire life.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, and the whole key to being happy, I think, and to being successful is doing something that you love. You've got to be passionate about it or you're not going to do it great. I mean, that's how I feel about life too, right? You have to do something.
Yeah, you want to get up in the morning and be excited about what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So how does this whole auditioning process happen for food shows. I've always been curious about that. And do you get paid when you make appearances on food shows, or is it strictly you're doing it for your own PR?
It depends on the type of show. So for the reality shows, these competition shows such as Beat Bobby Flay, you can go to the Food Network site and you can search current casting the shows are casting for. Once you go to one audition though, you kind of get on the casting director's email list. So now I get emailed when there's auditions. And so the first thing is an application, and it is a god-awful long application. It's like 20 pages. It usually takes me, and even though I've done them for multiple auditions, and I know it's a lot of the same information, it still takes me a good 3 or 4 hours.
Is it not electronic where you can save
It is, and it still takes like 3 or 4 hours. And then you have to upload, God forbid your picture size isn't the right size, and don't ask me, I don't know how to make those smaller. I'm a chef, not a digital person.
Yeah, we can help you with that.
So you do the application, and then at that point, if they're interested in auditioning you, you get a phone call, and they'll usually arrange it. If they're local, like Food Network Star was just here on Saturday, here in Dallas.
Oh,
Last 2 years they've been in Austin and San Antonio, so I was so excited that they were here this year. And if they want you for a callback, you pretty much find out that day if they want you to come back and be on camera. So
did you go audition?
I did, actually, and I auditioned for Cutthroat Kitchen on Tuesday night. So everybody, fingers crossed.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, yeah. we love to have seeing stars in Dallas, right? Hey, we'll get publicity however we can get it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, but the thing is, I guess you could kind of relate it to a job interview. You might find out at the end of your interview, they say, well, if we're interested, we'll contact you in 2 weeks, and then if in 2 weeks you don't hear from them, you didn't get the job. Well, with auditions, if you don't hear from them, then you know you're done. The only way you know if you're going on or progressing is if you get the phone call, and they don't give you a timeline.
Wow.
So usually I go, well, they start filming in January, so if I don't hear by then, I know I didn't get picked.
Really? So they just they wait till the end. So when they audition, so we watch. My daughter's a huge Food Network fan, right? She watches it. She loves Giada. So if you ever meet Giada...
I have met Giada, actually.
We met her at the airport. We were in Vegas, coming back from Vegas, and she was walking by. My daughter was laying down, and I see Giada. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Giada. So I got up, the mother that I am, her, my daughter, and I'm like, I walk slowly behind her. I'm like, Giada? And she turns around, and she goes, yes? She was so nice.
Gracious.
So I said, my daughter loves you. Do you mind? And I go and I grab Sarah, and she's half asleep, and she's like, oh my God. So that was like the highlight of her life, was meeting Giada, right? But anyway, so when you go to these auditions, do you actually show your personality? Do they put you on tape?
They do put you on tape. And I think when I first started auditioning, so I've auditioned for Top Chef twice. I've auditioned for Food Network Star now 3 times. Cutthroat Kitchen twice. And Beat Bobby Flay was just 1 time. Thank you.
Yay.
But I think when I first started auditioning, I kind of was like in a regular job interview where you're smiley, you're happy, but you're professional. Now I'm just like, nope. Now they can see my personality. I'm gonna bust it up just like we're sitting here talking. I'm gonna be myself, and if funny comes out, great. If silly comes out, that's fine. But I kind of just throw all caution to the wind when I'm doing the auditions, and I think that makes a difference. They want to see who you are.
Right. Well, and because you see the progression at Food Network Star even, and you see how they start a certain way and then they end up like totally different. And in the end, my son has a saying of, you can fool people for a little while, Mom, but it's only for a little while. So it's kind of the same thing, right? Because they put you under that pressure to get to know the real you.
And they do. They want. If we sit here and we talk and you walk away and you say, oh my gosh, I love her, we just had the greatest conversation, that's what the Food Network wants, because they want the audience to feel that way when you're on air. They want the audience to relate to you. So I'm hoping between my dance moves and my funniness and my cooking with wine, this is kind of my homage to Julia Child. I'm like, it'll go in the food at some point.
That's true, right?
1 for the dish, 2 for the chef.
Exactly.
Stephen, you're the food guy, so are any food questions that you want to ask Chef? Well, we've got some people. Well, you got a lot of people on, Saucy Chef. Okay, so we're saying we've got people restreaming, so that's great.
Thank you,
folks. So why don't you guys tell us who's here? We've had 54 people on, which is good. They've all joined in. So I'm sure you guys want to ask some sort of question of Saucy Chef. She may be famous someday soon, right?
That's right.
We're hoping. So,
and until then, I'll be glad to sign an autograph that says "The Future Famous."
The future, yes. saucy now, saucier later.
Yes, I love that.
I love that. There you go. I'll just write all of your sayings for you from now on, all your messaging. So tell us about tomorrow night. So what do you know, I know you can't talk about the show, but...
Well, you have I don't know if it's supposed to be public knowledge or not, but you have a viewing party tomorrow.
I do, yeah. I have a watching party. It's at Le Taco in Dallas. They were gracious enough to let us have their dining room and 2 TVs with sound, so I'm like, woo, double the pleasure, double the fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm super excited. I'm nervous because, of course, I don't know what they've edited. So I'm really excited, though, to see what they do. I'm excited to stand there and kind of explain what really happened after I see the edited version. So and just to have people there to support me and celebrate. I mean, my life couldn't be any better.
Okay, absolutely. So we're actually at a Mexican restaurant right now. So do you love Mexican food?
Actually, so we're Gloria's is a El Salvadorian Tex-Mex. They're actually El Salvadorian based. This is my home away from home. I've been coming here for over 10 years, and I think it might be because I was Spanish in another life. I'm not so sure, but I think you should see me salsa dance.
Oh, so that's so are you here on Friday nights at Gloria's?
I do come some Friday nights. Thursdays is always my happy hour. It started when I was a property manager. We used to come for dinner after work on Thursdays, and then as we all kind of disbanded and went our separate ways, I just kept coming. So everybody knows me. It's kind of my cheers. Like I walk in and everyone's like, Jennifer! Yeah, so, and Jose, the owner, is wonderful. I feel kind of special when I come in, I guess, like a mini celebrity in my own little bubble.
Well, you are special. So what else do you want to tell your fans?
Well, definitely check out my website. I've got some great food photos on there. I'm going to try to keep it updated. I'm getting better at social media. I know it's important, and it is fun to put stuff out there. So just kind of follow me if you can. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, and hope for the best. Like I hope that you can see me on some more Food Network shows, and sooner than later, hopefully I'll have my own show. And don't worry, I'm not going to forget Dallas. This is always going to be my home. So
well, it's funny because you're from New York, but you have a Texas-y accent.
You think?
Yeah,
I can say y'all.
Yeah, you acclimated quickly, I think.
I've been here for 20 years, and
okay.
it's interesting when I do go home, when I come back, the first few days I'm back, people are like, what the heck happened to your voice? But yeah, I don't know. This just, when I moved here, it just felt like home, and I've always felt successful here. Now, whether you can gauge that financially or with whatever career path I've chosen, I don't know if other people